Whiskey, backtrack, line up and wait, runway 31.
Backtrack, line up and wait, runway 31, Golf Whiskey.
Golf Whiskey, Whiskey, runway 31 cleared takeoff, surface winds 310 degrees, 13 knots.
Golf Whiskey, Whiskey, stand by for takeoff. We'll get back to you when we're ready.
Golf Whiskey, Whiskey, roger, cancel takeoff clearance, acknowledge.
Cancel takeoff clearance, Golf Whiskey, Whiskey. Golf Whiskey, Whiskey, apologies for the long wait. The passenger needed a poo, so requesting to fly.
Golf Whiskey, Whiskey, I hope your airplane doesn't stink, runway 31, surface winds 310 degrees, 13 knots, you're cleared takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 31, Golf Whiskey, Whiskey.
Aero 3 Quebec, Blackpool approach, good day, you can taxi to holding point Alpha 1, runway 31 via Alpha.
Okay, we just got a radar on, but it's a procedural thing, so there's not going to be like any too much stuff going on. Yeah, so the plan is to depart Blackpool, a little bit of a sightseeing tour going north and then northeast, and then heading down the M6 down to Barton, and then do a couple of circuits at Barton.
Whiskey, it'll be a basic
and then yeah, back up to Blackpool.
Aero 3 Quebec, I've got your departure instructions when you're ready to copy. Aero 3 Quebec, hold position after departure, runway 31, right hand turnouts, VFR, the QNH 1020 and squawk 4050.
Opposition after departure, runway 31 cleared, sorry, right hand turnout, VFR, QNH 1020 and the squawk 4050, Aero 3 Quebec.
Aero 3 Quebec, correct, are you ready for departure? Aero 3 Quebec, backtrack up and line up and wait, runway 31.
So we've got a got us clear going to be a right hand turnout, so that just means to take off and then to turn right basically. So we'll get above 500 feet, so and then we'll turn right. A lot of extra power required today because of the wind. Oop, a little bit of a freeze there. It's very windy today, so that's going to make it very interesting for takeoff and see how we get on. Lovely weather, clear, well, lovely cloud condition though.
Aero 3 Quebec, runway 31, you're clear to take off. Surface winds 310 degrees, 13 knots.
Runway 31, clear takeoff. Thank you. Aero 3 Quebec. I feel that wind already. So much rudder. Rudder, okay, 50 knots, let's rotate. Okay, nice, we're up. Let's get the flaps up at 60, then we'll increase speed to 70. Just 54 to get maximum rate. Oh, it's windy. So windy, quite choppy it is.
Aero 3 Quebec, Blackpool approach will be a basic service.
Okay, that wind's really pushing us back. Okay, we got the 60 knots, flaps are up. We're going to hold about 70 knots to climb, hopefully. It's also quite warm today, that's going to affect the performance. We're still not above 500 feet though, so I don't want to turn yet. Now we're 500 feet, let's turn out of this wind a little bit. So there's the famous Blackpool Tower. It's extreme. It's going to make the circuits of Barton very interesting, this wind. Right, so we're gonna try and find the M55, follow the M55 to the M6, and then see how we get on. Only use little nav map if we absolutely need to. Alright, so there's the M55, so let's follow that now until we reach Preston in the M6. So that looks like the Junction 3 roundabout, so we need to go a little bit on the north side now to avoid the Springfield restricted airspace, which is surfaced to 2,000, I think, or 2,200, something like that. Right, so there's a road that goes sort of straight, there's another junction, so we're north of the river, so we're alright for the restricted zone. That sort of pale thing there is another road. That's the sort of nearly the edge, so we can once we get past that by a few hundred yards, we can then go back on the north side. When we are coming up to Preston's, we're going to have to climb, make sure we're 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle. I've got everything you can have. Alright, so here's the merge point from the M55 to the M6. We're going to turn south here. I got to make sure that I follow the one that goes to the right, because the motorway sort of splits, and one's the, I think it's the M61 or M63 or something like that, and the other one's the M6. So we want to go, sorry, left. We want to go down the M61. Oh, now we're getting a bit of a battering from the wind. Okay, so here's the split, look. So we want to follow the one that goes to the left. That's the M61, I think it is. So the one that goes to the right is the M6. The little bit there that splits off is the one that we want to follow.
Whiskey, support com security and contact Barton 122.8. We don't allow Manchesterians here.
Support com security and contact Manchester Barton 122.8.
We're not in Bradford, I think.
Yeah, this wind's a little bit too much today. It is incredibly windy. Okay, so we are approaching the Manchester Class D. So we've got to be... There's a tiny little sliver, which is 2,503, I think. So we're alright for that. Then there's another... Then the main block that we're going to be in is going to be doing a bit around Barton, which is surface to 2,000. It's going to be below 2,000 for that. The circuit height is 1,000 feet QFE, and the overhead join is 1,700 feet on the QFE. The QFE is the aerodrome elevation divided by 30 and then rounded up and then taken away from the QNH. The QNH Barton, Manchester's the nearest, 1021, so we are on 1020, so that's going to be the same. So that's easy.
Actually stable, patch level 150, descending patch level 90, Shamrock photo.
We're going to be using 28 right, so the plan is we're going to join overhead. So we're going to overfly 28 right, we're going to make a right turn, come back over the opposite end at 1,000 feet, and then join. There's already another aircraft in the circuit, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for him when we're joining and see if we can work out where he is. So I did, for a couple of seconds, then capture a glimpse of that aircraft in the circuit, but I've lost them now. There he is, look, just there, just watch the side window. Watch the side window, there he is. So he's on the crosswind. A little bit too high, we're not paying attention and looking out the window, its position. Right, so we're nearly enough 1,700 feet. We're just more or less above the runway airport now, look. Barton traffic, Aero 3 Quebec, we're dead side descending. Oh, that wind's back. It is horrific. So we're heading for 1,000 feet. That aircraft that was on downwind, I would imagine, would be on base now, or maybe even final. Not seeing it now. Okay, we are 1,000 feet. We're back over. We're almost crossing back over the runways. Bad traffic, seek back, join the downwind runway 28 right. Right, the other guy just called final, and I don't see him. It's like too many white roofs, that's the problem. We're a bit high. Turn to base. Probably want to avoid them flats down there, to be fair. Let's do a bit of a dog leg. Let's see how this goes. Drum roll, please. A bit of a float there, then a little bit of a almost tip up. The wind is ridiculously strong. It's climbing at about 54. Once we get above 500, we'll shallow the descent a little bit, accelerate up to 70, and climb out to the circuit height. Okay, Right, 60 knots, bringing the flaps up, and we're going to hold about 70.
Downwind.
The other aircraft's just called downwind, so we might capture another glimpse of them at some point. No, I don't see them anywhere. We're a bit high again. This one looks a bit better, doesn't it? I don't fly enough at Barton. I know the circuits at over at Barton, I never remember. Let's turn before these high-rise flats this time. So windy. Oop, I so turned the wrong way then. That wind is making this extremely difficult.
Drop off a bit of downwind for runway 26 right.
So it's just said it's downwind, so it's somewhere over there, but I still don't see him. I wish they just had like a little dot or something just over the aircraft. So, you know, I know it's not realistic that, but it just helps so much. Just a subtle little dot, you know, not anything like a massive name tag or anything, just something subtle. Sometimes you can use the sunblind as a little bit of a cheat. You can sometimes spot aircraft easier with it. So if we just scan this area here. Yeah, it didn't really help that time, did it? Sometimes it really does help. We're terribly low now, though. Barton traffic, final runway 28 left, Barton traffic. Okay, we're going to leave the Barton area. Hello Andrew, Martin, how are you? I'll read your comment in just a second. We're going to leave the circuit on the crosswind and head back up to Blackpool. No, the scenery for Barton is the one that comes with Flight Sim, but I do believe you have to download the packs in the store, and the Blackpool scenery is on flightsim.to. There's an airport, and there's also like the local area, like Blackpool Tower and the Pleasure Beach and things like that as well. So yeah, some nice packs. The same guy I think makes them both as well. Skull, something like that. Alright, so we're going to leave staying below the controlled airspace, staying below the 2,000 feet. There we are above a populated area, so we're going to be 1,000 feet above them. And we're gonna head about this general direction, to be fair. But we could manage to catch a glimpse at that, Andrew. That's the Blackpool scenery. But it's quite nice, and this is the isn't the default. This is the WB Sims 152 as well. It did used to be the JP Logistics, but yeah, they changed to WB Sims. It's quite nice. You can change. It's got a tablet. You can change loads of settings and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. Best feature is it has a duck. And the duck is actually a qualified captain, so he can take controls if you need him to. I've been chit-chatting on Discord to my friend, and now I'm not really sure where I am. That looks like some sort of main road over there. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, I'm not from, I'm from Yorkshire, so I don't know this area from the air very well. I could just open little nav map and cheat, but this is much more fun. Let's see if we can figure out where we are. Get down on this big road over here. It must be, like, I was heading east for quite a while, so it must be the M6 when we come across it. If we keep travelling northeast, we're going to find the M6. Then follow the M6 back up to the M55 and away we go. Yeah, that must be the M6. just lock the view. I know it gets a little bit motion sickness with me bobbing my head around so I can't track IR. Right, I'm 100% sure that's the M6. It just must be the M6. Well, at least we're not lost anymore. That's a good thing. So I'm pretty sure this is Preston on my left. Right, so Blackpool's going to be somewhere over where the wing is. Somewhere underneath, somewhere over where the wing's pointing. So you're just waiting for the, just waiting to see the M55, which is on the north side of Preston. I reckon that is Preston. Do any of you think that's Preston? I think it is. What do you think? We must be getting close to the M. I think that's the M55, just what I'm looking at now. Yeah, well, that's the M55 there. Follow this now. Watch out for that prohibited, whatever it is, danger zone up at Springfield, and then we should be able to see Blackpool Airport. So if you remember when we flew past that little, that sort of lightly coloured line that goes to the south, that's roughly where the prohibited zone started. So we need to go a little bit to the north, stay just to the north of this river. Then once we get past the roundabout, we can go back a bit nearer to the motorway then. There's a little bit of haze, we should be able to see Blackpool Tower soon. I remember as a kid when we used to go to Blackpool, used to always be quite excited to see the tower. So once we get past the river, we can start heading back in towards the motorway a little bit. And the first one to see the tower wins a stick of rock. It's a little bit too hazy, isn't it? Just slightly. What we'll do is we'll try and join on the crosswind, I think. End of the M55, we're going to head sort of southwest, and we should be able to see the airport before then, and we can position ourselves on the crosswind to land on runway 31, which is the runway that we took off from. So I reckon that's the airport, just those little white buildings just in the middle of where I'm looking. I reckon that's it. There's Blackpool Tower. You can just see it, and I'll try and zoom in. A bit unconventional. We're gonna try and pick up the crosswind and land runway 31. Yeah, that's definitely the airport over there with those white buildings. Yeah, we could just do to the other runway, to be fair. Which I can see. It's not going to be much of a crosswind. Let's do the big runway, since we can see that one. Let's get positioned for it. Okay, we're 85 knots, let's bring a notch of flaps in. Let's push the nose down a little bit to counteract that. So normally I aim for about 50, 60 something, about 60, 65, but there's a bit of a wind, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker today. We've got maybe 65, maybe 70-ish on the final bit. Only going to go, we'll see how we get on, it's very windy. A little bit faster than I'd like to be, but we're alright. Very long runway, so there's no worries. Oh, it's so windy, so windy. I've done better, but I've also done a lot worse, so I'll take that. The co-pilot seems quite happy with that landing. He's got a little bit of a smile, so... Having to keep so much rudder in just to stay straightish. Well, thank you very much for watching, Andrew. I hope you have a wonderful day, so thank you very so much for your comment, and all have a great day.